grade, okay. And then their dictionary literal is literally like half of
Okay, woo, I remember this one.
This is not
How are you guys doing tonight? Yay. It's a quiet night tonight. It's kind of interesting. I guess once the summer starts coming, the sun starts getting out, or whatever this is, or enough people doing heroin outside, and it gets a little quiet. Okay, anyhow, thanks so much for joining us for May, ViDIA. First off, I want to very much thank our sponsors of the night, as we are very appreciative. Wavefront, who I know is not here, they're always eager to help and help companies grow. If you don't know Wavefront, I highly recommend you do learn about them because they are there to help you make a lot of money and hire more people, and everyone wins. Buddy Build, Alicia's not here, I don't think. Anyone? No? Buddy Build, of course, they're basically the reason why we have pizza and drinks, so we're very appreciative of Buddy Build. If you haven't tried their system, it's incredibly impressive. I'd explain it, but it would take all day because it does everything. But if you're a developer and you don't know Buddy Build, I highly recommend you just get acquainted with it. Put your toe in the water and learn. Huge thanks to VFS for ponying up. I love the facility. Mitchell, would you like to say some words on behalf of the wonderful Vancouver Film School?
I'll say some words for VFS.
Just say some words.
Hi everyone. So the reason we're at VFS is to help also promote the school. So the school teaches programming. At this campus here, we have two different programs. One is programming for games, web and mobile, and the other one is game design. So programs here are a year long, and they teach you a lot of the stuff. They make you have a nice end project. They help you build your portfolio. I'm actually a graduate of VFS, and I actually teach here now part-time as well, trying to give back to the students and help them get the education that I got here as well. And if you want to look it up, go to their website. You can see a lot of the cool stuff they do here, and we hope you like the campus. Thanks for coming.
Yay! Thanks, Mitchell. Yeah, no, thank you very much, the film school. I've never actually been beyond. I've wanted to play with this green screen so much. I wanted to skateboard on that green screen. Honestly, it looks pretty cool. So thank you again, VFS. As well, thank you to the executive team companies. So we got Dynamic Leap, Radical.io, AirG, and TTT. And we'll just quickly go through again the executives. We got Ian as vice president, Andre, and this is the magical people that made things happen. Andre there as treasurer, Mitchie as sponsorship, design, Mr. David Dirk right there, and community manager Stephen Thompson right there. Very nice. So thank you. There's a lot that goes into all of these events, and I really appreciate all the effort and that goes into us. As well, we have a Slack channel. I'm going to go through this relatively quickly. And we also have an iDevelopers Industry Association website, page, social media, blah, 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 blah. We're going to get through this. Okay. Anyhow, announcements. I've got actually a really, really cool announcement. I'm really excited about this because I don't know if you guys remember Van Hacks last year, but we finally got Van Hacks 2 signed, lined, and docked up. So it's going to be held at the BCTIA office, which is on Great Northern Way. And we are going to have bigger numbers. So we're going to have about 125 people take part this year. Last year was about 85. So it's going to be bigger, better, 10 times better. So July 7th to 9th. So mark that on your calendar. But the big thing that we're trying to do right now is we just kind of are at the real basic steps. Okay, there's a lot that goes into these hackathons. So the first thing that we need to do, let me just actually explain what Van Hacks is so everyone understands the premise of it. It's to help those who help Vancouver, okay? So what we're trying to do is we're trying to create solutions for those who are the pillars of our society. So last year we had the Society for Prevention of Women, the Canucks Place, sorry? Violence against women. Wow. Is that like the same thing as SCUM, the Society for Cutting Up Men or whatever it was back? Yeah, okay. Apologies, ladies. It's the exact opposite of what our goal is here. the Canuck Place, the Food Board, or the Vancouver Food Bank, Potlatch Cafe, great organizations. And what we do as well is we open source the solutions with the whole belief that whatever we do for the food bank in Vancouver will also work for the food bank in London, to Timbuktu, to wherever you name it. So the whole idea is we're going to act local and think global, and we're going to try to create a lot of solutions and help out some groups. But the big thing is this year is we have to figure out pretty quickly who is it that we're going to serve. So we are going to be held, nominations, see, I did that this afternoon, and then we got the nomination board going. So the first ask that I have of all of you is we want to make this really interesting, okay? The important thing when we're looking for one of these groups that we want to help is A, they have to be from Vancouver, because that's the whole premise. They have to have a technical problem that we can solve that's relatively not black and white. It has to be kind of creative to solve, because that's the whole idea. And, you know, them saying, hey, I need a database to count my members, that's not going to really win a hackathon. But if there's some sort of problem where we can throw creativity in it, that's fantastic. What's the other thing? Local, via Vancouver. Oh, they need to have a champion. So if you know someone in that organization that's really, really great at telling their story, because they have to sell to the hackers that this is the problem you should take up. And we found Canuck Place was honestly one of my favorite organizations last year, and not one person tried to solve a problem for them. And the reason why is because they dialed it in. They didn't really send anyone in to tell the story, and they didn't really have a good problem to solve. They just said, yeah, whatever, if you want to do a script, okay? Well, that's useless. We quickly learned that that's useless. So we need to know groups that need our help and that would be there to help tell the story, as well as be part of the adventure. You know, so if a team has questions of, oh, would this be good? Yeah, that would be awesome. Or no, we don't need this because we have a different type of backenders, or something like that. So anyhow, we are going to be pushing this out, this nominations, on our social media. And I have one huge ask for you guys, okay? Free pizza, free drinks, one huge ask. Can you all retweet this? Because I want this nomination to really matter, okay? Because at the end of the day, the hackathon's great, but it's solving these problems for these wonderful groups that are helping us that matters. Okay, so I want to have a good flavor of groups that are going to help us help them. So again, we'll have social media push this out. If you could just retweet it, repush it on your social media that we're looking for this help, I would really, really appreciate it. Okay, this is not spam. This is for grandiose adventures here. And we'll keep on the hackathon route. Lumo Hacks, which is Canada's ultimate health hackathon, is held in September. We got a long time to go. But they contacted me actually just to be a sponsor of this. It's funny, I thought that was coming up. But that's all based around health and medical hackathon. It's going to be a big one. I think they said there's going to be 500 participants in it. So you gotta love the ones that are held at universities because they have the space. iNews. So is anything interesting in the news with Apple lately? Really? Because the answer is not much. I tried really hard. Normally I have like 12 slides I can do. I think I'm at 6, okay? And 2 of them might be fluff. Here's some fluff for you. So, first off, the iPhone scored a 92%. Hold on, I need my notes. Pardon me. Getting old. Is it view? Hide presenter notes. I want to see presenter notes.
Are you mirroring?
Oh, is that what I'm doing? Yeah, okay. Okay, thank you, Ian. That's why Ian's so damn good. He always saves my soul. Okay. But of course, it doesn't have notes. Just bear with me, because I need my notes. Okay, here we go. This is where I read shit. Stuff. Sorry, kids. Dollar in that jar. So anyhow, 92% of iPhone owners that are somewhat likely or extremely likely to upgrade their smartphone in the next 12 months plan to purchase another iPhone. So Apple's loyalty rate is up from 86% a year ago, and this is based on an April 2017 survey of 1,000 smartphone owners. The highest iPhone retention rate since all time was 93 when the 6S launched. So basically they're saying people are interested in the 8 and 7S. How many people plan on upgrading? Yeah, definitely. You know what? I gotta say, I'm still not sold on my 7. I don't know what it is. There's something I don't like about it. I don't know what it is. So I'm excited about the 8. Google Assistant. So I guess everyone saw, or hopefully attended at the Dynamic Leap's office, the Google I/O announcement and party yesterday. So Google Assistant is now out for iOS as a standalone app. Who's tried it? Anyone? Dave, of course.
It's kind of fun.
Is it kind of fun?
Yeah.
So now you have Siri and Google listening to everything you do. Yeah, I'm still kind of on the wall of some of this stuff, to be honest. I'm a little scared of it.
It's pretty cool turning your TV on at home with a Google Home device.
Yeah.
The
It
voice
is, isn't it?
recognition is really accurate.
Is it? Like much better than Siri?
Yeah.
Because Siri's getting better, but I still have issues. It's my Scottish accent. So this way, users will be able to chat with Google, gain access to all of its interactive features without needing a Pixel or Android smartphone. The company also revealed the Google Assistant will be gaining new chatbot abilities and integration with a new technology called Google Lens, which enhances a smartphone's camera with AI learning. Has anyone seen that? This Google Lens? It's really cool, and that's what's going to happen with when WWDC happens. I'm sure Apple's going to announce the same thing. But what it is it's a really smart system. So, for example, in the ad, they had the picture Google Lens open, and it was on a flower, and it identifies the flower to the type it is. Yeah, it might be in a lab, but still, it looks pretty impressive. But it also does things like takes your spatial positioning into account. So I could, for example, put Google Lens onto this Chinese restaurant right there, or herbal store, whatever it is, and it'll pop up and show what the ratings are, and it shows everything about it. It'll translate it. It's really cool. But like I said, I'm positive that Apple will be coming out with the same thing, and I'll touch on that why in a minute. This is kind of interesting. I don't know, this kind of went under the radar. I was a little surprised by this. So it's called Today at Apple program. Has anyone heard of this, the Today at Apple program? You've heard about it? Yeah, it's kind of interesting. So it's been in place at Union Square since in New York since that store opened, but it offers a range in classes and topics like coding, art, music, design, and photography. So not just kind of like, I'm going to work on the iPad, it's more, how can we be creative with these tools, which is really interesting. But even more so, there are classes designed for both beginners and more experienced users, plus classes for kids. And most sessions are trained by employees called creative pros, but in some cases, they're actually getting like well-known artists come in and show how you can do it with music, or show how you can do it with photography. And I think that's quite cool. You know, they're really trying to have a conversation with you and show you what what you can do with these tools. And I really like that idea. And this was kind of out of order, so I don't know if you guys heard about this, but Apple acquired dark data machine learning company Lattice Data for $200 million. This is a couple of months ago. And what's interesting about this is what I'm just talking about, Google Lens, that's what these guys are doing. So that's why, so what they do is they take unstructured data, such as text and images, and then convert that into real information, which is kind of what Google Lens did, because it showed you took a picture of a restaurant menu, and it instantly takes the number and resolves it and says, okay, did you want to phone that number? Like, it knows what that data is from a picture. And so this is exactly the same thing. So I think basically Google just kind of jumped on Apple before Apple could launch the exact same product. Also, a little bit of fluff here. I really wanted to get that picture in sexy Steve. So Apple reached $800 billion valuation on path to become the world's first $1 trillion company. I don't know what it was today. I know yesterday it was down about 5%. The whole market was. It had nothing to do with it was just an index thing. Like, everything was down. But Apple stock is currently trading above the 153 mark. For some reason I thought it was 156 today, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Even after factoring the 7-for-1 split in 2014, this gives the company a record high market cap of roughly $800 billion. This means Apple's within $200 billion of becoming the world's first $1 trillion company. And to get an idea of how big that is, Amazon, which I'm very bullish about, their market cap's about $400 billion right now. Okay, how many products do they do, and what does Amazon do? I mean, this is a huge multiplier, but it's based on a lot of good stuff. I mean, that is a good stock. And then to show you the downturn of things, which has nothing to do with the stock, but Apple has actually been selling fewer iPads year over year for the 13th straight quarter. as the tablet market shrinks to a 5-year low. And this is kind of interesting because this is for all tablets, not just for the iPad. But clearly, people are not refreshing their iPads, which is
A good product, right?
well, that's just it. You're bang on right. They made a great product.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I have a whole bunch of the older ones, the 2s, as well as some minis, and I have the Air 2, and the Air 2 is almost a perfect device in my mind. Like it really, I use it daily. I use it for anything on the consumption side. It's like my media product. Will I buy another one? I don't know, to be honest, because it does everything I need right now. Until maybe I don't know. Maybe some AI stuff is going to need a faster processor. But at this moment, I can see this as being a trend that's just going to continue.
There's only so many family members we can give our iPads to.
Very much so.
Once the family's saturated,
It-
you just can't buy another one.
But Kathy, you're bang on about that. I mean, I have so many at home now. It's embarrassing. And they're basically coasters.
Yeah.
They are coasters. And yes, sir.
You have 10.
Yeah, thank you. Next slide. Basically, this has not changed. So there's nothing too interesting about this. iOS 11 is going to be announced. That's going to, make my little wheel get a little more interesting again. But for now, we're looking at basically an 80% adoption rate of iOS 10. So again, when your clients say, "Oh, we need iOS 8, we need this," just show them this and say, "No, you don't." Like, there's no reason for it.
So because of the old iPads, do we think that's going to get slightly higher, the 5%?
Well, I don't know if they do it based on activation or active use, because if that was the case, iOS 4 and all that would be like a big number. I think this is active users. Yeah. So probably whoever hitting whatever server. But I do believe this number because I don't come across too much iOS 9 anymore. And though at the same time, my wife isn't super technical, and I do have to update for her, and she doesn't want me to half the time. So maybe that number's bigger. I'm not sure, but this is the numbers I've got published. So, hi, Candy. Huzzah. Joyce, why don't you come up and share, read, listen, pray with us, if you please.
Hi, everyone. My name is Joyce. This is my first app in the store, and so myself is a Christian, and for years I want to make an app which you help me to do for my reading and prayers. And so this app is keep a track for the reading Bible and also for the praying. There are 66 books in the Bible and more than 1,000 chapters. And there are many times I got lost. I repeated some books many times, and some I never read. So this app will help me to make a plan and to see where I am and to which books I want to go next. And the praying is also for it's like a note, but it's more than a note. Sometimes I want to repeat certain prayers and I forgot. So this app will help me to organize my prayers and keep a track for them. And this app so this user management should be from tech side. So this app I offer the user management which I can have friends and I can share questions, I can share prayers with my friends, so we can talk about specific chapters or questions we have there. And so there are other apps in the market about prayers. So what is what's the difference of mine? So my other than to-do list, mine have this marked verses. So which means user can go to read the Bible, and on their way they can mark certain verses they like, and then they can build their own collection of Bible verse. And of course can track reading on different level at the whole Bible level or different books level about how many percentage you have finished for the book and so on. And I can also add comments at different level at the book questions. And for the prayers, I can set the prayer as answered, or I can set it as for archived. So once the prayer is archived, I won't show it in today's list.
Great.
And this app, I have the function for repeat. So the user can set certain days to repeat for certain apps, certain prayers, and also share. And yeah, there is a lot of functions I will just show. And more than that, there are two features I really like about my app. It's about link the verses and prayers by tags. So user can tag their verses and they can tag their prayers. And like to tag like for the Thanksgiving, I can pray for certain people and or certain things for Thanksgiving, and at the same time I can see related verses from Bible. And this feature was from a friend, and I really like it, and I had that in my app. And there are ways to show prayers. So I think before when I was working in a company, I worked for a financial company, and I think for the one important thing is about report actually. I feel when I was working for the financial company, the boss want to see reports about certain things, and then they want to see related situations. They want to have a big idea. So my app, if it's a personal app, but I put that thought into my app. So I want to organize my things well together, because there are many apps, they have notes. But the thing is, you get lost. Over time, you don't know what it is. And there are different ways for me to show my prayers and also for the questions. So people can, sometimes they can just come by different way to, it's not like search, but by different way in your mind, they can look for things for that. So that is what. So about tag game. So I started this, I had no experience for Swift, no experience for NoSQL, and for mobile. So I am a PC developer before, and I was working with SQL Server, and I'm really happy with SQL Server, but there is no free service for the iOS. I cannot pay on my own for that. So I come to this Firebase, and right now I feel quite happy with it. I don't know how many of you are using Firebase. Okay, good. Yeah, if it's possible, I would like to talk more and to see, because right now I come up with my own way to model the data, and I want to see how other people do it, and it will be great. And one thing about my app actually has 3 parts: read, lesson, pray. Right now I'm finished 2 parts about pray and lesson and read. Before I was working on this lesson, I had a talk with someone, and I realized that my app was very PC styled. So the way I did before is we have a requirement. We do app, we design, not app, project. We design and then we train users. So I was doing this the same way with my app. So I have 5 YouTube demo about how to use my features. And then I had a talk with a person, and he said, in mobile doesn't work that way. So right now, I was a little bit slow down on this lesson part. I was working on user experience design. That part was totally a new area for me. So I'm having fun there. So right now the lesson is slowing down a bit, but I will get there. And so this is my app. So I just have a couple of screenshots here. So this one, so when the user comes to the app, it will show today. Today is the to-do list. So when they have their app, and then they set up like here, I set up a reading plan to read Matthew 2 chapters a day. And then when I come to the app, I will show 2 chapters. And when the user click on the Matthew first, it will open to the page, and people can mark their verses there, and also they can go to read the chapter. And I have a lot of data recording behind the scene to see how many chapters the user have already read, the second one. So right now, the user has finished 6 chapters of 1,000 that many chapters and finished 1 book. And so there are a lot of, and here on this third screen, that was the prettiest UI at that moment. Thank you. It's not my design, I copy others. Yeah, but when I get this done, I was really excited. So my app, I have no storyboard. Everything I was draw on it. I had no background. So at first, I don't even know how to trigger an event of a button. So here, I have those information there, and there was a lot of things. It was quite challenging, actually, for the data. Anyway, and so that is for different things for the book. And you can see currently that user finished 7% of the book, and there is totally 28 chapters for the book. And so that is the read part. And so here, about this, the second session is about the prayers. So when the user comments, they can use this button to create prayers. And once it is created there, it will be, like today is Thursday. This prayer will be set to repeat automatically on Thursdays until that prayer is marked as archived. So if that prayer is archived, it will not show here. But I have a list of the prayer. You can go to different status. You can see all the prayers, or you can see answered prayers. You can see archived or active prayers. So you can find them there. And that is the tag. Sorry. So the user interface, I'm not proud of it. So I couldn't come up with a good icon for the answer and archive. So it doesn't look nice. But the function works. The function, so the user can tag that prayers, and then a group of prayers will be set to them. So actually, sorry, am I talking too much?
Yeah, you got to speed up a little bit because it's only 5 minutes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So there are many features I'm really proud of, and there are I just need to finish the tag. I set so right now the user can set repeat on the prayers, but the user can also set the repeat on the tag. So all the active prayers for that tag will be repeated on selected day. And also there is a and the game. So right now this app is in store, and I'm really excited. So this app is free with no ads, and because my personal so I make no money on it, but I did not compromise any quality for this. And right now I have 2 releases already there for the read and play, and so far I don't see a crash. So
You pray for it.
Yeah, I'm a new. I'm really. I feel really happy for that, and I also feel happy with the skills and build up with the Firebase. I don't know. I read some articles. They were saying a company says after 9 months they gave up Firebase because they cannot really handle complicated relationship. But mine was very complicated actually, because the book, actually the Bible, there was 3 levels of keys, and I want to catch things on different levels. That was some quite. I also have this realm in my app. Can I ask another question? So how many of you are using realm? And I see, so it seems like when the Xcode was upgrading, the realm made the app size super big. So before it was like 50 megabytes, and then later it was 150. Did you guys have that problem?
Is there images in the Bible?
No. There are certain small things, but not really.
The realm framework comes with like every platform. They the download should be smaller. But I know that when you install the Realm framework, it includes like every single possible CPU and platform.
Okay.
But it's a great platform.
Okay. Because right now, so this app right now is built on Firebase, but Google is forbidden in China. And I come from China. I want my app be used in China. So I think next, after this version is done, I want to make one version for on the device. So I'm still choosing which database to use, Realm or SQLite. So that's why. Thanks. And right now, sorry. Last one, I promise. So right now I feel I'm facing a lot of challenges, not talking about what I faced before. So right now I'm having fun with this user experience design. It's very challenging for me, and if anyone like to talk to me, I will be really appreciate that. And also I want to make this available for Android. And yeah, and marketing. Right now I don't have much downloads yet, but I look forward to maybe in 2 years. I feel my app is quite useful. Maybe just take time for people to get used to it. Okay. Thanks.
I really like this story because you took something you're passionate about and you learned a lot from it. I loved how you're talking about it as the challenges and how you went from a zero gain to a gain, and congratulations for getting as far as you did with that. I honestly mean that. I'm also remembering a story that Mitchie told me about reading a Bible on your phone. Mitch is the only person I know that's read all of the Game of Thrones books on his old what is it, BlackBerry device. I can't imagine your eyes would be good after that. Oh yeah. Nikita, where are you? There you are, Nikita. Come on up. And I'm gonna say I've seen the deck, Nikita. Where's the kittens? Come on.
Oh.
Where's the crazy
that's
stuff?
What I forgot about. I was like, what should I do? Yeah, so projector doesn't quite show the colors the right way.
Oh no,
so
no, that's my deck. Hit the next one.
Sorry. Projector. Sorry.
There you go.
Anyways, guys. So I've been working on this app for like 2.5 years, and back in the days when I had my own studio with developers working in 2 different hemispheres in different time zones, I used to wake up. I started to experience how do you call it, anxiety, right? When you wake up and you like scared of what's coming, because you don't know what the developers did during the night. You couldn't control them. And your client is going to call you in 10 minutes, and you know that. And in these 10 minutes, you have 10 minutes to call 20 different developers and ask them how did they do tonight. So we built this thing internally to notify me about what my developers did back then, overnight or over day, so that I didn't spend any time at all calling them on Skype, messaging, waiting for answer. I already had everything there. So it was basically an internal Twitter, a private Twitter. Imagine if you could wake up and instead of asking every single person in your company what they did tonight or today, you could just look at the Twitter feed and see what they did. And then we expanded that concept and we started to introduce controller to our clients. And they loved it. Because they didn't need to call us neither. So they've seen only the things they cared about. So yeah, that's how controller looks right now. It experienced at least 2 different complete redesigns because I use it on a daily basis and I'm an active user of this platform, and I improve it all the time. So what can we do? First of all, for businesses, This app is built for businesses and clients. It is a bridge, a communication bridge between them. So businesses can keep all of the projects in one place and update all of the clients in one application. You don't have to keep track of emails, you don't have to keep track of Slack, of Trello, of Jira, of whatever new thing you use except controller. Alright? You can use controller, guys. If you are a client, you can take all of your contractors or all of the people who work for you, your employees. If you're a manager, you can take all of your employees on this app and they will update you about what they did today. Imagine if you owned a Tesla Model X, all right? Close your eyes, imagine it. No worries, somebody here definitely owns Tesla. I'm jealous. So imagine it, and then something broke in your Tesla, right? You get it to your dealer keeps it for like 2 months or so. You know nothing about it. Then you come there and they give you a paycheck, probably not with Tesla, right? Bad example. Sure can take and share it. But you know nothing about your car during that time. And this app solves the problem. For managers, it's the wrong slide, right? So businesses, don't overwhelm your clients, just give them updates in Twitter-like feed form. 255 characters, progress bar, that's all you need. That's all your clients need. And clients get only the updates you care about. That's the screenshot of the app. I hope I'll have some time to show you the app itself, the demo. And recently it was released for Android. It's native for both iOS and Android. I don't quite like cross-platform frameworks like Cordova or React Native or Xamarin, so I just developed it for both Java, in Java and Swift. Yeah, sorry, no code this time. And so that you know, I've got, oh, come on, I keep messing up slides.
It's a strange,
it's a strange system.
Yeah.
All right, anyways, so yeah, no cross-platform frameworks. That was the previous slide I was talking about. That intended to be a joke. Anyways, so I got you guys a cool promo code. On the website, there were 1,000 promo codes for half a year, completely free usage of the app. Right now, there are only 112 left, as I remember, and we have more than 500 active users so far that give us feedback. We improve almost every single day. We run on 2-week sprints, which means that we release a new version every 2 weeks for both Android and iOS, and we are improving constantly. And I got your promo code, ViDIA, for a year free usage. All right, try it out. If you like it, keep using it. Give us feedback. Get probably another free year of usage if you give us the right feedback. Yes?
Do both the clients and the business need a license or
No. If you are a client, you pay nothing.
clients are free?
You just use it. There is a limit for amount of projects you own. And own means you are a business. Let me show you a quick demo of how it looks, how it works. Yeah, I probably will need some help.
That's a surprise.
The phone is charging here.
No,
Yeah,
it's
sorry.
just to keep you going.
Oh, it's alright.
Okay, throw that down, say
Sorry,
yes.
go ahead. I wanted to slightly talk about tech as well, so it might get interesting.
I wanted to see the kittens and the exploding sharks and stuff.
Yeah,
I know. Miss you. Let's see if I can just go. Did you agree to it? Yeah, just agree to it. See them? Good job. Okay, you agreed. Good. Okay.
Oh, you have to do movie recording.
Yeah. Here we go. Come on.
Cool. So that's my screen.
Oh,
That's not my screen.
That's us in Africa.
That's my kids in Africa.
It looked almost like my screen.
That must be you in Namibia.
Just better. So yeah, that's a small app controller. Let's open it up. Let me log out to show you some tech demo here. Well, an interesting thing is that I implemented a continue Facebook button in like 10 minutes. 1.5 years ago, it took me at least 2 days to do that. So guys, if you'll ever build an app and you would consider implementing plugin with Facebook feature, it's time to do that. It takes 15 minutes to do it. All right, you import the library, even the button is drawn for you, and that's why it looks like it. So and out of design. But anyways, I implemented a cool thing called Magic Link. Anybody here used Slack?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's actually a pretty easy thing to implement.
Did you build it yourself?
Yeah, from ground up. It uses deep link, universal links now. That's how they call it. And yeah, it allows you to log into the app. Sky Industries.
You're on the Wi-Fi.
Am I?
Yeah.
Ooh. That's the link. And again, I had no web experience at all when I started this project 2 years ago, and I built all those awesome responsive emails, and look at how it works. A magic link. No passwords whatsoever, you just type in your email, you get the link to your email, which means that you have access to that email, right? And you just click the link, and you get inside the inside the project. And that's how projects look like. You can basically get in there as a company, building the Death Star. And that's how easy it is to update your clients. So that's building the Death Star. Star Wars 7, 8 are coming. And that's it. Your client gets push notifications, and yeah, let's try to upload an image. An interesting thing is, there is a new feature with the iOS photos. You can search.
You fall asleep?
Yeah, fell asleep. It's all right. So yeah, the thing you can search for a query, right? So I typed in appropriate photos in Siri, and it showed me that. So let's upload a couple of photos. And that's how easy it is to upload photos. Also, an interesting thing is you can add progress bar.
So Stephen just asked where the inappropriate photos were.
Oh, in another folder, the adjusted one. And yeah, build an investor, and you can update the progress bar. So clients will see pictures, tweet like posts, and progress. What else do they need? No, seriously, if they need anything else, tell me. That's a good feedback.
We need integrations.
Integrations.
So things will actually just post directly from another service into your service.
Definitely.
That's what makes
We actually
Slack so
working on
good.
it.
That would make this really good.
Yeah, we're actually working on that right now.
Mm.
Yeah, and that's it. That's controller. That's my app that I've been working on for the last 2.5 years. You got free year of usage. After year ends, it's actually super cheap to use. It's like $1 per project, per active project. So if you archive it, we don't care. Okay, you can have as many archive projects as you want. And that's it, guys. Thank you a lot. You're awesome.
Thank you, Nina. And if anyone's wondering, that is one of the weirdest places on earth I've ever been. It's in Namibia. It's called Deadlify, where it's a desert with a whole bunch of petrified trees in the middle of the desert. It's like 40 degrees, full of Germans and French people, but it's really, really cool.
Which country is it?
Namibia. So just north of South Africa on the western side. Okay, Daniel, come on up. So I should explain to you, like I failed to do Nikita, and apologies about that. This slide does not agree with that slide. To get to that slide, you have to click the plus, the space button. You want to get that going first?
Yeah.
Oh, do you want to do the slide first or that first? Okay, let's do that. Rock and roll. Okay, yeah, plug it in because you have to say okay to the trust my machine. I wouldn't trust my machine, but trust my machine. Don't trust. Okay, smart. Oh. Okay, this is going to be confusing. Are you there? I don't see you there. Okay, hold on.
Did you trust this computer, Daniel?
He trusts me. His first
Hold it up
mistake.
in front of the camera.
Okay, over here. My belly. Daniels? I assume that's you. Rock and roll.
Hey guys, I'm Danny. I see a lot of Lighthouse crew in here, so some of you guys, hey, so I built an app because I really like podcasts, and I guess the problem was I know I have friends that like podcasts, but I don't know what they listen to and what's the best stuff they listen to. So I built Echo. So I'm just gonna log in as a new user and talk about some of the features. So you can import from any third-party app. I have some instructions here if you want to do that. But if you want, you can just press one button and import from the podcast app. Uh-oh, I'm on Wi-Fi. And it's not. I'm just gonna turn off Wi-Fi. Okay, so so this is what's in my podcast app. So you may know there's no Apple doesn't give you an API for their podcast app. What they do is they give you all the downloaded media on the device. So I've already installed the app, so you can see the alert task for permissions. So I just look for anything that is a podcast. I search the title and search it against any podcast title on iTunes, and therefore I have any podcast subscriptions. So I'm just gonna click all these podcasts, and I'm already signed up. So if I didn't sign up, it'll probably ask me to ask for a username, but I've already signed up. So it's just gonna log me in. You can pick your friends. So the idea is to see what you and your friends listen to. I'm gonna click no because, but maybe you guys would click yes. So because I'm just gonna uninstall this because it's my demo account. So this is my. So what it is, you have a profile, and this is all the podcasts that you think are awesome. You're listening to it on iTunes on your third-party app. What's awesome is you can go to your friends. You can click. Oh, I wonder if Corey's here. This is my roommate Renato. You can see the kind of things that he's into. So one, you can see what podcast people like. Second, the other part of the app is you can echo out really good podcast episodes. So these are the things that I've echoed out that I thought was really good quality content. So you can see what you like, you can see what your friends like. The other screens are, this is a big feed, almost like Instagram. You can see everything that's happening in your community. So if you follow anyone, you can see on top it's like, oh, Dan has a similar podcast to one that you already have called This American Life. It's called S10, just came out, it's actually really good. You guys should check it out if you haven't. These are some echoes that I've echoed out, and you can see some of the friends my roommate's added, some of the echoes he's given out. So it's a way for you and your friends to interact with podcasts in a medium that isn't maybe there, because right now, if you guys listen to podcasts, for me, it's kind of like a lonely experience because it's just you listening to a podcast, probably with your headphones. So I wanted to expand that and make some social interaction with that. And then lastly, there's like a Discover tab, which tells you what Echo is. But these are all the top echoed stuff. You can filter it by whatever genre you want, or you could see them all. So that's Echo. Instead of going to that slide, I just wanted to maybe talk about some of the tech I used here. So if you guys want, it's available on the App Store. Echo Podcast, you'll find it on the iOS and Android App Store. To briefly talk about the cool tech I use, I use GraphQL. I don't know if you guys have had a talk on GraphQL. I'm not gonna go into the details on that, but if I was to build a new app, I would use GraphQL. It is an alternative to using REST APIs. I think it made me a better, it made me get out my app faster. So check it out. I use this thing called a Apollo framework. It has a Swift and Java. It gives you native Swift and Java code that you can use and integrate into your GraphQL server. The other thing is I built my first Android app. I'm an iOS developer, been for just 5 years now. But I built my first Android app, and so what I want to give to you guys is I built my first app, and I was surprised at the similarities. So we have stuff like view controllers, but in Android it's called activities and fragments. It took me a month to learn the Android framework, and a lot of that was annoyances in the activity and fragment lifecycle. But even in the Google I/O that came out this week, they're talking about how they're making that easier for new developers. Another thing is Kotlin. So that's their equivalent of Swift. They have stuff like var, which is our var in Swift. They have we have lets. They call it vals. Some of the stuff they have optionals. So if you love Swift and optionals, Kotlin is a language that they even have guards, and they just call them require. They work a bit differently, but essentially the same. They have try catch. I'm sure Java has that as well. I just haven't used it in a while. And if you have used Java, what's annoying is all the getters and setters. Just like in Swift, Kotlin doesn't have that, and you get it for free. So Kotlin was awesome to use in my app. I really enjoyed using it. We have UIKit in iOS. They have material design. And if you look up the material design standard, there's a doc just like the HIG that walks you through what is best practices for Android. They have, so we have Storyboard, and you all might be frustrated with it. They actually, if there's one compliment I'd give to Android, is they do storyboards better. So for us, Storyboard is generated XML. For Android, you can actually go and edit the text and then just view it in design mode or in text mode. So I found myself working in the text mode a lot, and I really enjoyed it. So they actually do Storyboard a bit better. They have constraint layouts. It works almost exactly the same. It's amazing. It actually just came out this year. They probably just stole it from iOS, but hey, it's great. They have CocoaPods, their equivalent CocoaPods built into their Android Studio. It's called Gradle, and because it's built into it, it's really easy. It has some complications, but it's work. So hopefully what you get from this is if you're interested in Android, I was surprised at the similarities involved, but there was some frustrations getting my first app out there. So if you like podcasts, check out my app, Echo Podcast. It's live in the Android and iOS App Store. Thank you.
So two things kind of interesting. That Kotlin is actually interesting because Vahan, one of our Armenian programs, was actually talking about it with me 2 days ago. And I'd never even, it's like a Russian programming language or something like that.
Yeah, it's the guys that built Android Studio. They also built.
Yeah, was it? Yeah, JetBrains. He said it was a bunch of Russian guys. He's Armenian. He likes the Russian guys, but he loves the Russian guys. Anyhow, those who know Vahan know he does. But also I've been getting into the pods, pardon me, I've been with kids too long. Listening to the audio podcast. Thank you. That's the word I'm looking for. Podcast, CocoaPods. And I've been trading, suggestions with a buddy of mine, but that's all I have. It's like an isolated little island. So I'll definitely be trying that out because I think there's a lot of upside in your offering, and it looked really nice too. So thank you for sharing. Now next, I am not going to get the slide out because we are very lucky to have Dr. Anson Yao to come and share all about Noya with us. Anson, while you're setting up, why don't I touch a little bit? One thing that we've been doing lately, and I'm sure lots of companies are doing this, and if you aren't, I highly recommend you do, is we're having every Thursday at TTT, we're having a Learn at Lunch, though it seems to be 3 days a week now. And so each person takes a little bit of time, and well, Anson, he doesn't tend to go until 10 o'clock at night every night, so I think it's a lot of time for him, to teach everyone else a new tech or a new idea and all that. And if your company isn't doing it, I highly recommend you do, because the amount of information we've been sharing is fantastic. And this is one of the presentations Anson did for us, and it was a really good one. So, please.
Hello everyone, I'm Anson Yao. I'm a iOS developer from 2000. Today I'm going to share my share some experience on Moya. This is an introduction on Moya. So first thing is, what is Moya? So Moya is a third-party library in GitHub. It has 5,000 stars, so it's already quite popular library. And the author of this library defined as a network layer written in Swift. So, but it doesn't really give a lot of information in this definition. For the network layer libraries, for the iOS, most of them probably already know, like AF networking, Alamo Fair. But this Moya is kind of a different kind of library compared to that two libraries. It's like a layer based upon the Alamo Fair. It's one layer higher. So the purpose of this library is to handle the network calls in the iOS app, and it's built upon Alamo Fair. So if you install Moya, it automatically install Alamo Fair for you. And so in the iOS app, when we want to make a network call to the server, there are actually quite a few ways to do it. You can use the NSUR session provided in the iOS Foundation framework, and that will be a bit complex because it's highly customizable, but it takes a lot of steps to set it up and then make the network call. So there are libraries like Alamo Fair, which kind of handles a lot of common tasks for you and simplify this step and add some features. So that's a very good library. So the thing is, you can either use NSUR or Alamo Fair and make network calls. So every time you want to make a network call, you will say, okay, I will have this input parameters. I will send to this URL. I want this parameter encoding method. And then when it get back, we want to pass it like a serialized to JSON, and then get a key from them, and then cast to our model, and then send it back. There are also some a lot of common tasks in this process. So Moya it builds upon the Alamo Fair and handles a lot of these things for you, and to make this process easier, and they make the code more organized, more concise, and safer. So how do we use Moya? So this is the core component of Moya. It's a protocol called target tab. So Moya uses the a cool feature in Swift. We know in Swift, when we're using an enum, the enum can take parameters, and the enum can implement protocols. So this target type is a protocol for enum. Every time, so for example, in an app, for example, you have two API calls. One is get users, another one is add a user. Then you construct an enum called API or API client, and then it has two cases. One is get users. The other one is post users. And then you will use that one to implement this protocol. And then for each this variable is switch case. For example, in the first case, when we are get users, what's the base URL? What is path? What's the method? It means like you are downloading, uploading, or send a request on HTTP GET or HTTP POST. It handles these things. What kind of parameters you want, and how you want to encode these parameters. What kind of sample data you want. Sample data means, I will explain later, but it's basically you can have local JSON files to for your test purpose. When you test, you don't want to fetch data from server, but want to use some some data which will not change. So that in that case, you can use a sample data. And you can also specify tasks. Oh, this is upload and download part. This is ATP post and guest. Also validate. Is that validated true? It will automatically check if the status code is 200 to 299. Otherwise, it will throw you an error. So this will make the thing very concise and clean. So the benefits of using Moya, the first thing is, as I already said, it makes your code very organized and very concise, and also it's safe because next time we make a narrow call, you basically write request at endpoint, and because the auto-completion, because you define it as enum, so it auto-complete like what you want, so you never like mistype something or mistype the URL, that will not happen. The second thing is the sample data for testing. This is for test purpose. The third part, which is I like the most, is it's very extensible. It allows you to create different kind of plugins to handle your task. I'll explain this part more. So in our course, we cannot have a lot of common tasks. For example, I want to log in the console. Like every time I send a request, I want to log in the console. I send a request to some place. What's the parameters? When I receive the response, I want to log like what status code it is, or what kind of response I have received. So this kind of common task, you don't want to like repeat it for every network call because there are so many of them. You have too many left characters. So for this kind of common task, you can extract them and then create a plugin. A plugin basically will implement this plugin tab. It's kind of, it has three or four methods. Basically, before you generate a URL request, you want to do something. Before you send this thing, you want to do something, and when you receive the request, you want to do something, and process is like after you process it to how you want to process to the final results. And you can, the thing is, you can create as many plugins as you want. So every common task you want to do in this network course, you create a plugin, and you put your plugins to the provider. Then in your code, you never need to write them again. It just automatically does that for every network course. So this is a explanation on the plugin. So the app will send a request and then send to the server send a response. And these plugins lives in this process. When you send the request, you can get a header plugin. For example, the server guy said every time you need to send me in the header, like the content tab is application JSON. And you create a plugin that said set header is as this. And then you put it there, then every network call will have it. You set, for example, you set cache plugin, like what kind of cache policy you want to use, then another plugin. Authentication plugin, like for example, some of the resources for the security reasons, you only want the registered user to use them, or only this user can see its own content. In this case, you can create an authentication plugin. Like for example, you put your token go from server, and then you put a token in the header, or then every network call it will authenticate this process. You don't need to repeat it again. Also the logger plugin I have explained, like every time you send requests or get a response, it will help you to log. So this is I feel like I like the Moya most is how they handle this processes. Its own library actually has kind of, it's very cool, but it cannot have limited things. Like it's just use enum to get these endpoints, so kind of help you organize code. It has one logger plugin that can help you to do this. But when we work on the iOS project, we kind of, after we work well, we kind of realize there's a lot of common tasks, and we want to create a layer on top of Laravel. And after several hours, developers discuss, and we think like if we want to make a layer, probably end up something very similar to Moya. So then at that time we found Moya, and then we started to use it. Okay. So this is an example service layer built on top of the Moya. So this is source code. So this is the Moya is in the pod. This plugins is what we have built, like a cache plugin, authentication plugin, header plugin, has explained them. And we extended the Moya plugin type because we wanted to handle some other things, like whether we want to ignore cache in this network call or we want to have cache. Do we really want to send authentication or not? Or do we want to put some additional headers on it? So we cannot extend Moya. And then we have also the retrier, like automatically retry whenever it fails. And we also have a networking class to start to initialize the to send the request. So every time we can just use these things, and these things will not change. Every project, we only need like two types of files. One is API. API is like this. So this is enum, and we want to have a endpoint get users, get a post of a certain user, and we define like this. And then the base URL is this is a placeholder, like a test URL. And then we set a path for each endpoint, we set a method for each point, set the parameters for each point, and then how do we want to parameter encoding, like URL encoding, JSON encoding. And then this is the place where we provide some sample data. If we turn it on, it will like load data from our local JSON file instead of trying to fetch it from API. This is very handy when you want to test some things, because you can turn it on and off with basically setting a parameter, setting something to true, then we just get to the sample data. This is a task. You can see that it handles requests, it handles downloads. In the download, it just passes in the URL, the local URI where you want to save this file, and it will automatically handle the download for you and then present the results. It also supports upload, like multi-part upload, or this normal upload. This validator is checking the 200 status code. This ignore cache is if you set it to false, I'll show you like it will fetch the data from the previous request. So this is a cool thing, like we can support offline viewing of an app with only one parameter. We set it to false, then the app automatically supports the offline viewing. So here I can show you the app. So now I didn't connect with the Wi-Fi, but it still shows up because we have set this one to false. Otherwise, if you want to do an offline feature, that's kind of a long story. Like first you need to determine what kind of local database you want to use and how do you kind of handle the interaction between your API calls and the network and the local database. But in many cases, the offline feature basically means offline viewing. It's not. It's only just in few cases that you want like offline editing or something. If it's only offline viewing, then you just set the ignore cache to false and let it false to fetch from the previous request. Then it will automatically get everything done. You don't need like some sort of database that's not necessary. Also, this is the require authentication is when you set it to true, then it will put token into your put token into your request. We have a keychain service, authentication service here, like how do we set this, how do we store this token, or how do we set it to the header. This is the API. So as you can see, it's pretty much like filling a form. Like this API for this endpoint, want this parameter, want this encoding, want this path, and then we send it, then it's all set. Now, the other things after is how we send this request and get a result. You can see this is very easy. It's 5 lines for one network call. Just okay, discard it. Just okay, we don't really. Sometimes we need it, but sometimes we don't. So we just networking request to an endpoint, put a parameter there, and then the completion is already converted to a model. A result of this is an array of posts. We use the object mapper in this in our case, so it will automatically convert your JSON to a model, and we have the proper interface in our networking. So every time you even don't need to like specify I'm requesting an array or a request object. So every time you see networking request a target, and you set what you want to return. This time it is an object of a post. This time is an array of object. But this networking just don't care. It just knows what kind of thing you want, and then you put there. You just you get what you need. Like the model is already processed. You don't need to like any some JSON serialization or things. You don't need those things anymore. And this is a special case. Just in case like the return thing is not a JSON, then you still need to like process something by yourself. And also we have so for the most project, we only need like set this API and then fill in this basically return type. Then every other thing is already handled. And here is the example. Yeah, I have show you that this supports the offline feature. And also there's app delegate can set what kind of things you want to config here. Do you want to see the log, or do you like how many details you want in the log, and do you want to see the CUIR, or you want to use local JSON or not? I will tell you now it's like this, right? So this is some sample data from server, and for example, if I set it to true, and I run it again. So this time it fetched data from local JSON file. I probably, okay, I cannot find it. This is some local JSON file in the project. This in this case you can test, like for example, if the title is very long, what happens to your UI? You can test in this way. Just set use the local sample file. Okay. Yeah. So in short, the Moya library is a very cool library. I hope more people can enjoy it and use it, and especially like its its own library and how they handle this requests, how they organize their code, and how do they use the concept of the plugin. I mean, these things is very cool. Like we can use this in our own project to make our project better. Thank you.
Thank you. Has anyone got any questions? Moya questions?
Does it add any overhead to the speed of the network temperature?
No, it's it calls a few more functions, but they are just simple functions, so it won't like add delay or something like that. Yeah.
Moya support WatchOS?
Ah?
Does Moya support WatchOS?
I think so. I didn't see anything like it says doesn't support any iOS platform. I think it supports every iOS platform. Yeah.
So, do you find yourself writing more codes with Moya or less codes?
That's a good question. For the first project, because I need to set up those plugins, I need to write those plugins by myself, so it's probably take a bit more time. But for other project, you can see this. It's just really simple. It's much less code, I have to say. It's just set the API, like this API is like filling a form, and then for the return it's just 5 lines of code. You get the model you want. Yeah, it's much less code.
Quite often the relationships that we have with businesses is the client will do the API or the back end, and we'll do the app side, and this allows us to be a little more free on the client side. It's pretty powerful stuff. Yeah. Anyone else? Come on. Nobody. Well, can I let in a secret? It's Anson's 30th birthday tomorrow. I probably just killed her, I'm sorry. Okay, well, Anson, thank you so very much for sharing tonight. So again, everyone, I just wanted a gentle reminder that in the next week or so, you will be getting a social media call out for the Van Hacks, because we really do want to make this a fantastic event, and I know it will. Thank you so much for the Vancouver Film School for hosting this great event, and thank you, Mitch, for organizing that. Mitch is everywhere. He teaches here. He works for us. He teaches here. He teaches at Lighthouse Labs. I don't know. No wonder you don't date. You don't have any time. But thank you so much, everyone, and look forward to getting together and having another Rompus next month. Okay, cheers.